Where you dey for Nigeria, they watch us for ITV, for Facebook, for YouTube, they watch us online. We must continue to thank you. This boss don't reach like 10 years now. Now the former governor. Abi? Don't reach 10 years.
Former. They go 16 years.
This boss don't go 16 years.
60 years.
Let me say we are due for new one.
Yes. Overdue.
That's why Akpakomiza don't go carry some come now. That one not they use. They use diesel and fuel. And a CNG. I been an electric bus. Our governor go buy also. Na CNG.
100 naira.
No, not be 100 naira. For this election time, a free Mayala. No, for this election time, from now till January 16, now free.
From now.
If they not carry us free, we'll change that for them. 300 naira. Who wants to that for the 300 naira? This is not there. This is not there. His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Edo State. Whoa. I beg, those new bus bring and come out, make them go pack all this one. Abi?
Yes, Edo people deserve it.
Edo people deserve.
We deserve to have a new bus.
A new bus.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Let's say never enter street.
I bet may enter. May enter.
What they pay you for back?
If they pay me for, if I not even get space to pull my leg. You know, see.
They should.
Prepare and add it to you.
No.
Waiting they have.
Comfort. Okay, this your son. No wonder.
Okpa was the try for me.
Yes.
What you try for
I'm my brother.
Okay, but the transport, say transport. This is not there.
No option this one.
This is not there.
Make am 200 naira.
From where to where?
From AVP to.
Oh my governor, you should be ready to lay good foundation. Earlier the better. Cause in the nearest future, you become one of the leaders. So we are praying. Amen. I know say you don't buy, but bring them out.
I don't say they shine.
I know it's shining.
One night.
But hunger dey. Transportation, however, transportation is one of our biggest challenges in Nigeria. Even me as a worker, whether you work for private sector or government sector, you go see am say transportation don't take 90% of our salary. Now, hear what? May I tell you what they rain now? They say all the hustle they hustle now. They say na belle and toilet with the hustle I put.
Now so won't they be safe again?
Wetin concern you for what I talk so? Wetin concern you?
I make I help you finish am.
Say
Not be the country we dey.
say the work where they work. Na belle.
Na belle o, we no dey fit save again.
You mean say Nigerians now as a civil servant, you know fit save like 2 million naira. After you don't receive your salary, you know fit get 2 million naira as balance. No, say as a Nigerian, you don't work, pay house rent, feed their children, pay school fees, don't do it. You know fit get 2 million naira as balance for your.
Let me say you be Yahoo boy now.
Don't be say you dey work.
When you want to see am?
We will increase your salary. This new boss, you go enjoy the AC.
Amen. Jesus name.
The new boss is coming.
When did they come? Make the new boss quick come.
And you bring it
And make NEPA light day. No light,
You
no
go
light
buy
for
fan, you go
building.
buy solar fan.
No.
All the old women don't buy solar fan. So they carry solar fan follow body now.
You go
Go buy inverter fridge.
No light,
Go buy
no
solar fridge.
light. Money day.
We not go fit wait for NEPA again. We not fit wait for light. They want to kill us in this country. Everybody don't they buy solar for us.
where money dey? When you don't fit feed yourself.
Go borrow money from Lapo.
Who go understand it?
I don't they go. If to say not be public transport, for see Nigerians they trek. Even so many Nigerians now don't park their vehicle now. They don't park big men now. People don't park their motor.
Yes, now. Because of fuel.
When it's too expensive.
Now this Iran American war na cause am.
Okay, only concern Nigeria.
Na cause am.
We not get refinery.
No, now because of the American.
We not get refinery.
Donald Trump don't want
We
it right
not
now.
get refinery.
You know, you say we don't give out to Chinese company. You know, yeah. Excellency, I beg bring out the new boss. I beg. Oh, we'll bring out the new boss. This is about 15 years. We don't to repair this motor. Bring out the new. Okay.
What did they happen?
Oh, your money. Oh.
What did they happen?
500 naira.
What did they happen?
500 naira. But you don't try to enter this, but we still make government may bring out the new boss.
We now increase. Oh.
Wait, let me the answer. What did they happen?
See the way people they rush enter public bus.
What did they happen?
Say go carry. Say go carry.
Now, no, His Excellency, as an area journalist, as an area journalist, this new bus, so make Edo people enjoy this bus till the end of this year. In fact, till January 16th. To
Where this boy now?
Mother, you don't see all that small bus enter where you call the enter this one. You don't see small one enter. You don't take up. Why you call the enter this cheap one?
It's not cheap now.
It's cheap.
I go say cheap. It's not cheap. This one is supposed to be free bus. No. 300 is it cheap? It's not cheap. It's supposed to be free.
You know, you say fuel don't go up.
Okay, why did they want us to vote for them? Is it not because of all this?
Now they tell an America that you free from now till January 16th.
See me now, I want to pay. I want to pay.
Oh my governor!
For this bus, I'm not saying passenger, I say in airport road. Just now you are in airport road. We do queue for it because it's cheaper. The other buses are carrying 600, 700. You know, in this economic now, we cannot afford to pay such amount. That's why we are trying to manage and queue for the bus.
But
We queue, we are many.
The governor have bought new Shasha bus.
Ah, we thank him. Long may he reign.
That bus AC deal.
Yes, we knew.
That bus not be cho.
You mean it?
That bus not be diesel, not be
You
fuel.
mean it?
That bus now.
Buzz for our governor.
It's not the hype am. So where are you going? Where are you going? Now here they enter goes Ghana or South Africa.
Waiting they happen.
I want to personally warn and tell you people the truth and nothing but the truth. Santana. Madam, how business? How you dey have family? People they complain. I'm not talking now. People they complain. Say that they sell Santana. Where don't if they buy a rich ass, you call risky. Government wants start to they call the checker now. Government wants start to they check the Santana now.
We trust what we do because we dey eat from inside the Santana. We dey eat from inside. So me now, I go do wetin no good. I go come dey eat from inside. I dey eat from inside.
If I buy this Santana go house now, like how many days if you stay for house?
Like this one where be like this now. If you stay 1 week, nothing go do am.
1 week.
Yes, nothing go do am. He get stash. The one where no get stash, 3 days he don dey pere.
Okay, may I tell you now wetin people wey dey chop Santana dey complain. They say why be say Santana the smell, the cassava scent, it dey scent well. These are people just chop Santana and once you tell them say chop am. If you just open some, wetin dey cause am?
That one another person go answer that one.
Wetin dey cause am?
I don't know. My own not the smell.
Your own no dey scent.
I say my own not the scent like that.
No dey smell like that because if you put am for water now say you soak am, you go quick wash am. Once if e too tey for ground na e go get that odor.
Yeah.
But if you quick wash am, quick make am, you no get that odor.
How much for that one now? 100 naira.
200
for one.
3,500.
And for restaurant now they sell am 1,000, 1,500 though.
3,500 for this one, sir. 3,500 for that big one. This one 8, 500. From 9.
Give me 500 naira. I get now me. Wait. Me and my 4 children, and my wife and dog. No, not that.
This one at 8 I'll give you.
8. As a restaurant they sell on 500 naira. No say for this country they know they shame again. No, they. Okay, inside the Santana 500 when I buy. Now inside the soup, pepper. Oh yeah.
Now 9 I give am.
9 500 naira. Let me say if I open restaurant now, how much I'll get for this one now? I buy how many? Give me 9 for 500. 200 naira. With soup. Thank you, eh? Thank you. So cut now. Thank you.
I greet you.
Don't chop today.
I never chop. Seriously.
You never chop today?
I never chop. Is this everywhere? It's has to be. They don't pack everybody come outside though. They say they want to do the market. So right now they're hungry.
You know like as government they do the market?
I like as they do this thing, but I don't know whether they don't just evacuate everyone like that now.
You sabi chop satana?
I sabi chop amo.
Like how many satana you fit chop?
If I say 4, I go finish 4. Only
4 satana?
Only 4. I tell you.
Like which kind of soup you use?
I will use correct melon soup.
Melon soup. Simbangasi water leaf.
Yeah, water leaf. All of them. But
you like to chop satana?
Too much.
You like how
where?
Or dash you satana?
Okay. Hey.
You buy and they hot. Open na me, you know say na satana.
I don't see.
Na 4.
I don't see. Ibabo.
I buy and dust now.
Okay. God will bless you. God will bless you.
Na 4, na 6, 9 days side.
Okay, I want to do the menu too.
You fit chop up. Carry, they go. Okay. I just buy and dust now.
No problem.
Mama gonna say find somebody where you go dash.
They
so as I ask you just now, you dey hungry, so you dey hungry.
No ma.
And na true you dey tell me.
I didn't tell you so. Madam, no concern if soup no day.
No concern you. Enjoy. Go enjoy the satana. Go enjoy the satana.
I hear you.
Enjoy the satana.
I hear you.
People don't agree, not the money. Also, please help me.
May I help you with something?
Yes.
Where are you coming from?
I'm coming from your leg at a check on Gulf Road. You know Lily Hotel?
Where you they go?
I dey go Ekenwa Road.
And you not get transport fare?
I don't get transport fares. Even though I get mercy here, even though I never take am.
I just surprised when you come meet me. Just surprised you come meet me. See.
And I God say make I meet you, sir. And God do am. I know say you must give me something. God will bless you. God will bless you. Your work, they will promote you more. We have been hearing of you for inside radio. And they will promote you more. God bless you.
Enjoy. I don't suffer, not be small. On say I get sense. Poverty no good at all. Now I make I join this business. No, you know this man. This is not my Chinese. That Nigerian Chinese guy. This is the only Benin man who speak Chinese. You see, China make parable last 2 weeks. He said Chaola. Chaola. You know the meaning?
They say they don already buy our property finish for Nigeria. Very soon, if you no learn China, you no get where you see work.
Only talk to Chinese.
Wetin I dey tell you so? Wetin I dey tell you so? Very soon, we will be a second slave to China if una no take time.
You shall talk to us how the situation of the country.
For the situation of the country, under kuku chinge ngondo. Ni yishi nyinge ngola. Kondo koyengo. No tungo yengo. The more you look, the more you see, no be less again. The more you look, the more you see.
Wetin concern you concern hammer.
I just show my love. We'll see. We'll see. No be Ajasho of Aru again. No be Ajasho. Either you gree or you no gree. They borrow money, you say you know there. Anything concerning Nigeria, na storm that they stop am. Oga do wetin go favour you. Issue. What's on your belly dey come out o? Nigeria no go affect you at all.
Dominiga tell no tamema. Salo praga tell no tamema o. I don dey go. How do you also now?
Bro, I don't get your number.
May I give my number?
You get many things. I dey find you for long. I beg.
Agree to.
I beg you.
Number 0080 55 40 73 59. Help me tell Nigerians make we be our brother's keeper. Chinese.
No be say we no like to be our brother keeper unless say our gospels don spoil. To be a brother's keeper nowadays, your brother wey you say you wan be a keeper, he don remove gospels comot for your back so your code according to your materials, your size no dey market
As people dey watch us now, they feel say you no dey okay.
Waiting they happen.
Now waiting they happen. Now waiting they happen. Now waiting they happen.
Waiting they happen.
We must continue to thank God for our life. I sincerely sympathize with the families of people who be said they don't die. Untimely deaths don't kill so many innocent Nigeria. May their soul rest in peace. However, Nigerians, they call on the federal government of Nigeria. Make them sharply. Nigerians, they call on the Nigerian army. Nigerians, they call on the Nigerian police. Nigerians, they call on all the security apparatus for Nigeria. Make them wake up, because Nigerians are not smiling because of the way things can happen now for this our country. However, we must continue.
Waiting they happen.
Agree to. Money no dey come from heaven. Do better thing, money go come. Na true word that they tell you so. Agree to now. Mommy, how are you? Everybody dey holla. Good morning. Why una block the road? Why una block the road? Why una block the road?
Why una go block the road? Why police decided to kill our members? The one way hungry no kill. Now police come to kill them. Why una go block road? Opera they suffer, we keke they suffer. Now police they kill them now.
Wetin happen?
Nothing happen.
Wait, una block the road, abi una park the keke?
We block the road. We need justice.
You did that, wetin happen?
Oh, not then at night it happen. But eyewitness they say see what happen.
Now police station from the corner, commissioner of police and they come from so. I see your people that they go outside.
They go
but they say we can't really investigate the matter.
Okay.
The truth and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Wetin happen? The person die, abi still dey alive?
He die.
The keke rider don die?
Yes.
Wetin happen?
Now, one policeman yesterday night around 9 to 10 for Osumbo Lane, that keke rider, he won't go carry a wife with his family for where he is same market for Osumbo Lane. The man park. According to people who did deal, they say the man park. So now the policeman, the worker they come. Now he con with the leg go, you know carry motor, you know carry bike. Now leg they use you. Now he can say the man park for center of road. Now the man say how I park for center of road where barrow they pass, we barrow they pass there. Now from there, now he can tell us say make a park where. Now he say you don't already park where. See walk away the walkway where they there. Now from there they can they change where. Now he come out the tear gas. I can spray for nose before you know the man fell down. Before people come they shout, make a come help. Before one of our brother come run go there, the man already give up before they all can go hospital. No still.
Now in for the impact with this, the Canada.
Yes.
When I chairman for the park,
all of them go straight.
No, what did this man talk so not true? I've been what do you hear or what do you see?
Not true be that, not true. And that man always they do they drink I can sometimes he go come here, he go enter drop the policeman, he go enter drop, he carry reach your house for password, he carry 500 give you. If you see he talk too much, he go bring gun, sometimes na dagger. You go say if you now police.
Ogida police station.
No, they say I want to go.
But what I want to be police officer can't do for this side. They stay for this side.
Yes. And he used to enter our keke when he's going. So he used to enter here whenever he's going back home. So he usually trek when coming back. So I was so surprised to see the man decide to.
But the police officer they drink.
They drink.
Our new IG said they don't want to see any police officer when they drink.
This one always they drink day and night. They always like go man.
He's even drunk yesterday night.
Now we be say your colleague don't die now. What do you want make government do now?
We want justice.
Justice. Make them sack the police officer or with justice. The dead body not go rise again. No, the dead body not go rise again.
Go rise, but we want justice from the government.
Which kind of justice?
Sometimes we dey hear public execution for this kind of matter. We no want may they put the person for sale later they will go and see him for street. We don't want it that way. Make government do the needful and warn the police say make they stop their brutality. It's no good. We don't like it. They don't treat us well, but police supposed to be our friend. But the way the police they treat masses is as if we are enemy to them. So we don't want that.
Nigeria police officers are supposed to protect life.
They're supposed to be our
you know hear the way they talk the story, how it happen.
I hear everything. I hear how it happen. Like I was saying, Nigeria police officer supposed to protect life
and property.
Not to the destroy, not to the key. You understand? So I dey beg those state government, make them, even all these officers, if not to go carry them, go find out whether most of them no go training at all.
Okay, make we do the other flip side. Wait, make I just ask people because we don't see them say Nigerian police now they be the nearest security officer to protect us. Yes. But what do you not like for police? What they do?
Number one, the brutality and oppression. The brutality of police is too much.
If you not give the 200.
You understand? Just like yesterday when I was going to Saple Road, police blocked me close to that what do you call that roundabout. Yes, no, not 5 Junction, that roundabout where for Saple Road. Yes, he was saying this is what do you call Salah. I must settle and for Salah, saying we want to go Salah. Now tell us what is me? I'm a Christian. I know that if I settle you, who will settle my own?
That's why you don't like police.
Not be say why. That's why I don't like police.
Your children join police?
No.
Okay. Why you not like police?
Okay.
What do you not like for police?
I know free talk say I don't like police. Police not our friend, and they are there to protect life and property. What we don't like, what I don't like about them, that operation, forcing people to collect money, because it's happened to me in this road by August Street Junction. When the man their red block there, as I drive my keke reach there, the next thing police say, man, I give her money. I say, okay, I no get money.
If you get opportunity to join police, you join.
Okay, I no sure say go join o. The way I dey see the police, the way I dey see, I no sure say go.
Wetin you no like for police?
Police.
Wetin I carry? Is there must give am money?
Oga, you see police dey too oppress people. They know they do their work, and many of them they don't go training. Then pass back, put them. Not all of them search them, sir. They are not going to training. Then pass back, enter. That's why the operation is too much for the next country.
Make your child.
God forbid. Go do waiting.
Times our Nigerian police need better reform. This guy now, if I ask a question now, what do you not like about police? Just the hear what you want to talk. Police are your friend now.
No, no be nowadays. Now before. Me I dey come for somewhere like this now. Back where I be fly before I enter bus the Coring Road. I dey come for Sapele. So they first day for there in the evening. This morning they still dey there. As they say, I wear clothes, I dey dress well.
You do this guy.
One or two things.
Everything.
So I just call a notice. They can't stop my bike. So other bikes they pass where girls sit down, where women sit down. They just stop my bike, collect the bike man key. They start to the search me. They say search yourself. I say, officer, see my back. Na power bank dey inside and other things. He say open now. I be the craze. All these one or two things. So Sapele for Idogbo side. Not on Idogbo. I don't forget the street. So I was like, okay. Man, no go outrash the maid. They don't go say I no talk when I make a converse.
But every time you see police, you dey fear.
Why I go fear? I no carry any exhibit or anything.
But they suspect you.
They always suspect. They try to misunderstand me. So one or two things. So you just need to just remain calm.
But you don't like join police.
If my friend Papa be police, I go avoid that person.
Or you join EFCC.
I not there anyone.
Or DSS.
Not all of them are one.
Or vigilante.
All of them are one.
Waiting they happen.
Now waiting they happen. Now waiting they happen. Now waiting they happen.
Waiting they happen.
This is ITV.
Certainly the best.
This is ITV.
Certainly the best.
is ITV.
Certainly the best.
It surely is an exciting time to have you join us on the program Woman to Woman. Yes, we will talk about woman to woman. We'll talk about the home front. We'll talk about things affecting women, motherhood, and the likes. Now, today on Woman to Woman, we have a counselor in our midst, yes. And she is by the person of Sharon Healing. She is a counselor, Uniben Counseling Center. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon.
It's a pleasure having you here today. All right, today on Woman to Woman, we will be talking about certain boundaries with in-laws and friends in marriage. Now, this brings to the fact that when let's say, when we get married, we get to hear a lot of persons say, two shall become one. Now, you need not to allow foreigners into your home. You need to come together to do things as one. Now, when we know our Nigerian setting, we always want to cherish the fact that we have extended families. Now, we cannot do without our extended families. Now, this brings to the fore certain boundaries with in-laws and friends. Now, when we talk about certain boundaries in marriage, what does it actually mean?
Yeah, first and foremost, let's try to understand the word boundaries. Because sometimes some persons tend to just say the word boundaries have to do with the negative aspects. And really that is how a lot of persons' mindset has been programmed. Like, don't cross that line. Yes. Don't reach here.
I'm married already.
I knock before you before you call me, before you come to my house.
Let me have a notice when you're coming to my home.
It don't really have to be that way. So there are healthy boundaries that can be kept. At the end of the day, everybody's relationship is still intact, not creating enemies for each other. So that is what we're going to be, I'm going to be talking on today. Like I tell people, we are not friends, we are not enemies.
Yes.
But we still draw the boundaries. So like, oh please, don't you think next time you should inform me when you're coming?
Oh, there should be a softer way.
Yeah, that's what we should start understanding now. So in marriage, boundaries are actually very, very important in marriage. Why is it important? Because of the mental state of everybody involved, the psychological well-being of everybody involved, the financial aspect also of the people involved. Setting boundaries in marriage helps you a lot as an individual also to plan and program your own self. When you are doing that, it's not everything the next person needs to hear. So like we tell you as a professional, we'll say there are things you should not say to everybody. Why? Because I may give you the wrong counsel.
Yes.
I may lead you astray if I'm not a professional. And also, we don't even know what is in the mind of the person you are taking with, you are discussing with. And now, these days, we now have online in-laws.
Yeah, very well.
Online in-laws.
Yes,
so that they're even more than the physical in-laws that people now deal with.
Yeah.
So, at the end of the day, you pick here, pick from online, pick from physical. At the time you say you want to
merge it together,
mix everything together, you find out that there will be unrest and conflicts in that home. So that is why we are talking of boundaries, keeping healthy boundaries. Like I say, you are not my enemies. You are not my enemy. We are not friends. But we should still understand when I should do something and when you also should cross the line when it comes to me.
But in our Nigerian setting, are you sure the boundaries we're talking about can actually come into play?
Yes, it can. Very, very well. Like I'm married for 20-something years now. I have healthy boundaries with my in-laws, and we are all moving well and fine. I know what I should say to them. I know what I should not say to them. I didn't go into marriage with the mindset of my sister-in-law, no. My mother-in-law, no. Those are unhealthy boundaries. The boundaries I set is, I know when to cross the line, and they too know when to cross the line. So I know what I say to them. So it's not everything I just cry to them. I don't like, want to run my husband down to them. They are my in-laws. I will not see relating. I have uncles, in-laws, aunties, in-laws. We all relate. Unlike when you are dying, the first person just call, you're like, that useless man, he has started again. Like, I tell you, you see that marriage, why won't you left the marriage? Anything again, and you see, and all that and everything. So those are things one try to avoid. Or, oh, mama, before you come to my house, yes, let me know. You don't enter my house unannounced. Don't. But it can happen if we create the mindset that, oh, this in-law is not coming to destroy my home. This person or a friend, for example, is not coming to destroy my own. And how can a home be destroyed? It depends on your attitude, your behavior, and what you let out to the public. That is what end up destroying the home. So in-laws, friends can be welcome, but you draw a line and the boundaries with them.
Okay, now would we not say certain boundaries can be seen as being disrespectful as a wife to the parents? Would that not be tagged as being disrespectful?
Okay. Let me give you a scenario of, I think I had a client that she was like, my mother-in-law will want to travel all the way from Abuja to come and cook for the son. And apparently the son is the only child and the only son. And which does not go down well with her. It was always causing conflicts. So sometimes she don't even hear her mother-in-law is coming. So I was like, don't you think you and your mother-in-law can cook in that kitchen?
Certainly.
So mama has come. So what is this? It's my kitchen. Why we should enter my kitchen? Mama has come. Mama, thank God. Food yes, today I thank God, Mama, you have come. I will rest now. And all that. So Mama, tell me, is it fried rice you want to cook? Is it carrot I should do for you? Let's enter
the kitchen.
You see how I put it? It's an healthy boundary already. So you are not quarreling, you are not whatever, you are not fighting over who owns the kitchen. So this one, it is not the other way around. It is not a disrespect to your in-laws. Like some example I said, don't come to my house without give me 1 week notice before you come to my house. Why will you call me? You don't just call me. So this is different, like, thank you so much, Mama. Mama, don't you think you know, by this time now I should be sleeping? Mama, don't you think as from 10 his ID to call me that time, I will answer you very well. My eyes go down open, the eyes is shining down. Mama, please, don't be calling by 6 a.m. What is bringing that hair and all that? Or me and my husband is talking, you're calling my husband. So, but in a better way, that you are showing respect to the other person.
Okay, now do you feel having a relationship with your in-laws can actually help to solidify the home front?
Yes, I tell people it is very, very important to create relationship with your in-laws. So, but some persons will tell you, oh, in-laws are the worst things that will ever happen to you. But I tell people, create relationship with your in-laws because you don't know what tomorrow holds for you. Fine, nobody prays for anything bad to happen. But when it happens, what's next? You don't have anybody to cry to. So when the person pushes your head out, you don't have one person in that family
to actually fall back to.
So even though your own husband is the one even creating an unhealthy boundary
with the parents,
with the parents, with the family, you apply wisdom in doing it. Why? Because of tomorrow. Anything can crop up tomorrow. I've had scenario whereby the family of the girl, they disowned her. Oh, they say, okay, can go. Sister is the person you want to get married to. Then at the end of the day, the guy became something else. And apparently she didn't have relationship with anybody in the family. And when the guy was like, I'm done with you, I'm no longer interested in this marriage, when she went to her family drove her because they saw ahead, but she was like, this is what I wanted. So they drove her away. So she didn't have anybody
to fall back
to. So I've seen scenario whereby when issues crop up, the person we just call the sister-in-law like, I'm coming to your house, like, oh, my doors are open, come and stay. Then I will talk to my brother in the morning.
Okay, in that aspect now, how would a woman actually know, okay, this is a family that, you know, has opened their arms for me to come into the home? How would one know, and how would one know a red flag?
Do you know one funny thing? In the beginning, every woman knows a family that don't welcome them. They always know, it's always there. I tell people, when I enter a home and it's even a 5 years old that said, I don't like this auntie, I hate her, I will run.
That's a red flag.
Yes, that's a red flag already.
But in the aspect where the man you're coming for, you know, loves you, likes you, adores you.
Yeah, that's what I want to say. They'll say, after all, it's not they are not the one I'm getting married to. It's the man I'm getting married to. Yes. But I tell you, I tell them as a professional, you are not only getting married to the man, you're getting married to
the family, everyone
in the family. So once you see the attitude from day one, the behavior, the like, I don't know my pikin see you bring come now on a good day, now woman wear fat, now we like see you be like who never they hungry. Those are already signs. So even though the guy is telling you, don't worry, and it's me you are getting married to and all that, things will change. At the end of the day, we'll find out that the influence will now be so much on the guy's attitude. I've handled a lot of cases like that. His attitude will just change. You will start hearing, he's my mother, I know how she suffered for me, so I have to...
Yes, I have to answer to the call of my mom.
My father, my father went on land to make sure who I am today. It's unfortunate that I got married to you. I have to please. Then at the end of the day, some of them even end up getting married to a second wife. Why? Just to please the family. So the signs are there through action words. So you look out for the verbal and non-verbal. Yes.
Okay, now how can couples identify unhealthy interference?
Yeah, unhealthy interference from in-laws or maybe friends and people around you is someone barging into your house maybe me and my husband and wife are together in the bedroom, you're badging, like, hey, follow me, I want to see you. Like, oh, Mama, please. So I said, follow me, what is important you are discussing? Well, follow me, I want to see you. That is unhealthy. Then badge into the kitchen. Why are there plates?
Why haven't you swept
the home this morning?
Yes, why is everywhere messy?
So like, oh Mama, I'm so tired. You know, I just gave birth. Is it Jesus you gave birth to? Are you the first woman to give birth to? Then giving you rules and regulation on in my family, in our family.
This is what we do.
This is what we do. This is
how women behave. A woman will marry into the family. This is their duties and all of that.
We don't give birth to CS in this family.
Okay. And that brings to you having to go and get a research. Before going to any home, any family, I guess the woman should go do their research before they get into a place that it's like a game of not returning.
Exactly.
Anyways, if you just joined us, this is Woman to Woman. We'll be right back after the short break. Don't go nowhere. All right, if you just joined us, this is Woman to Woman, and today we're looking at setting boundaries with in-laws and friends. I love to, you know, expatiate the fact that I don't think there is any marriage without friends, without friendship. You get to hear, oh, my friend told me this, my friend said this. So how can a home notice a red flag in one's relationship with a friend?
Especially when that friend is always talking down
on the husband, or the wife.
Or the wife, on your partner. Never sees anything good that the person is doing for you. Your partner is doing for you. And like, is it not somebody, the partner, husband or wife that just did? So what is the big deal on what he has done, that you are now high heavens and all that, and shows disrespect to your partner. So disrespect your partner, talk to your partner, and anyhow where you are. I think that can only come place the way you yourself place your partner. The person.
There goes the saying that says, the way you lay your bed, that's the way you lie on it.
So if you respect your partner, I don't think any friend will come and trample on your ears, talk down or insult your partner in your presence. So those are some of the signs you see. Never appreciative, maybe dressing, the way the person is talking, the income of the person is always talked down on, and making the person feel so little wherever you are. So such a friend, you just flee from such friendship and don't keep such a person as a friend. Then a friend that is always telling you, I see what my husband
bought for me, what my husband did for me,
come and see, can't you see? Can't you see this one? So if it's affecting your mental state, so just...
Especially when you get to see some women, when they talk about their husbands, my husband got this for me, my husband. And funny enough, when you go do your research, you will not see one pain that the husband actually did for them. Now, again, when we talk about marriage now, are we to say that, okay, let's say for instance now, Mrs. Sharon, you're married, I am married. Do we keep company with those married women or single women? Now, some persons will be of the notion that once you're married, you should do away with your single friends. I don't know how true that is.
And to me, I don't believe in that school of thought. Because I believe you as an adult, you should know what is good for you. There's something I tell people when I hear somebody tell me that, oh, I've been no one before, is this my friends? Like, you see, we told you not to be keeping friends with single person. I'm like, don't say that. If it was not in your mind,
you would not do it.
Yes, you would not do it. So it was just a push
You needed.
So, yeah, you needed. It was just the opportunity, the avenue. I said, so I always back it up with the scripture. I said, that's how the Bible says, I will not give you the temptation you cannot overcome.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, just like me now, as I'm seated there, I said, the mindset of go and rob a bank.
You can never come across.
Yes. I said, it's the one within my power that will always come across. So it's not left for me to say a yes or a no. I said, so that is how it is with friendship. So there are good single women out there that are even better than the married women, that will even put the married women in a straight path. So it's not all to do with you as an individual. Always see what you take in as you keep your friendship with the opposite sex that are single or the females.
Okay. Now, in another notion, we get to see some persons, you know, start deleting numbers of their single friends. Now, this is coming from the husband telling the wife, okay, all your single friends, so you need to do away with them right now. Now, is that actually the right move to do at that particular time?
To me, I see it as a form of abuse, control over the individual. So the person can have maybe single friend, both male and female. We've come way back. So that is why we are talking of boundaries now. So it's not you that have to create the healthy boundaries with that person. So you know when to draw the line with the person, what to do with the person, because you don't know where you will need the help of that person tomorrow. And to like just cut off from people totally is me and you, maybe church or whatever. I don't want only married people in your life and all that. Then friends I knew, because life was fortunate for me to get married before them, I'll cut them off totally. So it is an abuse, it's control of that person so that the partner would be in charge of that person. But if the partner sees that that person is a strong negative influence, so I see reasons why you can like, oh, I don't want to see, and there's a way you put it to your partner, and the partner will see reasons why I need to give a space from that person.
Okay, so can the married person now, you know, have a discussion, intimate discussion, sensitive discussion with friends?
It depends on the relationship you keep with your friend. So like I said, it's not every information you put out there for the
like mental discussions
and whatever. But if you find out that the abuse you are facing in the home
is more than what you can carry,
what you can carry, you can open up. So if like intimates or maybe all those intimates whatever, I don't see why you just sit somebody down and that is what you want to be
discussing
about. So it tends to even erupt some negative thoughts in the other person, and the person will want to like, oh, this person is, so that person is always too full of this his or her partner, let me go and really test and see. But the only time I tell people you can cry out, you can speak, is when the abuse
is getting
too much. You can't take it anymore. So have somebody you can confide in, you can speak with. So if it's what cannot be handled, you seek the help of a professional.
Okay, now do you believe that one can actually be in a marriage and don't have friends?
Yeah, there are people like that. There are people like that, and it's working for them, it's good for them. So there are people that also keep friends and all that,
and it's working for them.
So know what is good for you, what works for you, and all that. Like me, I have friends, but you see me, I hardly visit. But
just through phone calls and all of that.
Through phone calls, through chatting, I check up on them.
Okay, now before we go, let's quickly, have a review as far as the in-laws are concerned. So what should the women especially, now what should a woman do to have that cordial relationship with her in-laws?
Yes, the first thing is having a positive mindset towards your in-laws. Not the mindset of what the society has said about in-laws.
Especially mother-in-laws.
Yes, mother-in-laws, that you have created the mindset that to let my mother-in-law die before I get married and all that. So by the time you create a positive mindset towards your in-laws, you find out that you are open. Even you are being scolded, they criticize you when you do something wrong, you are open. So once in a while, I advise people, you send messages to your mother-in-law. It's maybe she's celebrating, if it's every month's message. Birthdays,
Mother's Day,
and
all of
that.
Yes,
to appreciate. So it keeps that relationship with
going.
you. Yes, going. So if you should know, like I said, everybody has their boundary and limit of what they can do. So if you know your limit is not to go and be sweeping house, washing clothes, it's fine. If you just to go and sit down and gist with I've come today to come and gist with you, fine.
To keep you company.
So if you are in the school of thought, I want to wash your clothes, I want to do this, I want to do, fine. So that is building relationship with you.
All right, thank you so much, Councillor Sharon, for taking out your time to be with us today. Now remember that a healthy marriage needs love, communication, and boundaries. Setting boundaries is not rejection, it is protection. Now the goal is not to shut people out, but to create a respectful space where marriage can grow peacefully. All right, so we'll be seeing you again next week for another exciting time. Do have yourself a blessed day, and yes, remain blessed. Bye for now.
This is ITV.
Certainly the best.
This is ITV.
Certainly the best.
This is Aqua Game, a popular game in Africa played by our ancestors to entertain themselves after each day of farming. It is also relevant in our coronation in Africa. It is a sport and indeed very interesting, as every seed had a role in the game. Playtime is 45 minutes per set. There is no age limit as long as you can spin Akwa seed. Ayo or Akwa game, known as the game of intellectual. This game requires a lot of mathematical skills. Akwa game is played with carved wooden box containing 12 holes.
Best.
All right, it is a beautiful time on television, and many thanks for joining us on the program African Discourse on Independent TV. My name is Evan Sunokogie. You're welcome to the show. Well, today on the program, we are going to be looking at one of the very latest when we talk about immigration policy in the United States of America. No doubt that when the president of U.S. President Donald Trump came on board, he told immigrants, immigration benefits seekers into the U.S., he told them that obviously there were going to be a major shakeover. And of course, for an onward of about 3 years now, there has been that shakeover in the United States of America. And the most recent of it all is the one that just happened about some few days ago, whereby those that seek adjustment of status. Now, when we talk about adjustment of status in the United States of America, a lot of persons come into the U.S. with different types of visas. You have the B1, B2 visa, and of course you have the F1, F2, F3, depending on the way you want to come into the United States. For example, if you seek a tourist visa, or you seek, maybe you have a family relationship visitation that you need to do in the United States of America. That is the B1, B2 visa. But in case if you intend to reunite with a member of your family, of course, that has to fall into the F1, F2, F3 category visa into the United States of America. But over time, it has been something that a lot of persons have taken advantage of, because the U.S. immigration law support the fact that even if you come into the U.S. with a B1, B2, then of course you can apply for adjustment of status. Now, what adjustment of status simply means is that you can change your immigration status from B1 or B2 into F1, F2, or F3. Now, when you have the F1, F2, F3 visa, what that shows is that you can now apply for your residency. And of course, your residency is that's a green document that is being given to you by the U.S. Immigration Authority. Now, once you have that residency, then of course it shows that you are legally, you can reside in the U.S. and of course you can apply for a job and all that. So over time, a lot of immigrants from all over the world, they've been taking advantage of that. Now they go into the United States of America with the B1, B2 visa, and of course they begin to apply for adjustment of status. So very recently, the Trump administration now had to call prospective beneficiaries of this adjustment of status that, hey, you did not do this in the U.S. Now, if you must apply for adjustment of status, if you must adjust your status from B1 visa to F1, F2, or F3 visa, then of course you need not to do that in the United States of America, because before this time, a lot of persons could actually apply for it in the U.S. So Donald Trump now said that you need to go back to your home country and apply for that. And of course, when we talk about immigrants into the United States of America, the courts across almost the whole world, you have different nationals from different parts of the world. So today we are going to be restricting our discussion on how the new immigration policy impacts on Africans, because lots of Africans are immigrants in the United States of America. So we're going to be looking at this new adjustment of status policy, how it's going to be impacting on Africans. Now, what the adjustment of status policy says that instead of you to still be in the U.S. and adjust for your status, for your immigration status, you need now to go back to your country and apply for that. So that's just the new immigration status, immigration policy. Now, to look at all this this afternoon with us, we are so privileged to have a global affairs analyst. Ahmed Mamadou is joining us virtually this afternoon, all the way from Houston in the United States of America. Mr. Ahmed, a very nice time to have you on television. Good afternoon, Nigerian time. I know you greet me good morning, but good afternoon over here.
I apologize. Good morning, Evans. It's good to see you again, and thank you for having me.
Okay, nice to have you. Now, please tell us, give us an insight. I mean, this new development now by the USCIS, and now USCIS simply stands for the United States Citizen Immigration Service. This new development that immigration, seekers that seek to adjust their status and need to go back to their home country to apply for adjustment of status. So, how does it? How does it meet you in the first place?
Again, thank you for having me on the show, and I really want to commend you and the management of your wonderful channel for all these programs that you use to highlight the things that are going on in the world and in the country in particular. So to the question that you asked, how does it meet me? I find it very unsettling that after we're approaching the 250th year anniversary of America. America is a country that is built on immigration and immigrants, and the plurality of the population is what builds the strength of America. But unfortunately, in recent times, the American people chose to sort of nationalize, sort of look inwards and become a bit more narrow-minded in who they believe will be America. And this has led to a lot of unsettlement in not just the immigration policy, but in the lives of people who are currently in America, who are of either foreign descent or who came in one way or the other and have assimilated into the American culture. What has happened is that as a result of the administration's clampdown on immigration and immigrants and its nationalistic view, it has taken the opinion that as much as possible, immigrants should be demonized, which is entirely wrong. Immigration is not a crime. Looking for a better life for whatever reason, either for education, for holidays, for medical reasons, or just to improve your life, that has never been a crime. There has been movement of people from time immemorial, and this is what is the American fabric. But what has the administration done? Let us take a historic view of it. If we are talking about the immigration policy, I think Nigeria, Africa and Nigeria in particular, has been the most affected by this administration. Why do I say this? Let's go back to sometime in June 2025. Nigeria was placed on a temporary entry ban. So it was halted, new visas were halted for students, workers, and all sorts of categories of people. I believe this is still ongoing. Then in December 2025, legal immigration applications were paused for Nigerians. So even the ones already in the US, they came under particular scrutiny. Nigeria became a country of particular interest, and then there was now added scrutiny on people who were trying to immigrate in one form or the other. Not legal immigration we are talking about, and then visiting visas, all categories of visas were affected by this. And then in January 2026, they now put a specific ban on Nigeria to reduce the period of time that the visas were valid for. So what now happened was that all visas were reduced. We had Nigerians used to have multiple entry, 5-year multiple entry visas, 2-year multiple entry visa, 1-year multiple entry visa, etc., etc. But everything was now reduced to a strict 3-month. I think it was a single entry visa. It wasn't even a multiple entry visa. So you see, it was gradually getting worse and worse. The noose was getting tighter. The road was getting narrower. And then finally, in May of 2026, USCIS, they now came out with a policy that the adjustment of status must be completed in the country of origin. What this means is that, like you rightly pointed out, there are so many categories of people who came into the United States for under different categories of visas. Some came to visit their families. I don't want to use the technical name. You have family visas, you have the student visas, you have the tourist visas, you have the workers visas, you have even medical visas. They have medical visas. What it means is that if you came in under any of those visas and then you wanted to, it's called an adjustment of status, where somebody transits from a non-immigrant visa, all those visas are non-immigrant visas, and then you want to transit to an immigrant visa, which ultimately culminates in the issuance of what is known as a green card because of the color of the card. But the actual status is called a permanent resident card. That is the last point before becoming a citizen. So when you want to transit from any of those visas, you come to a non-immigrant visa, you are now required to return to your country of origin and do the processing. The impact on Nigeria is even more particular because in some instances, Nigerians, when they return home, they will go to countries such as Ghana or neighboring countries where there was less pressure on the embassies to be able to process these things. But the rule is so strict right now that if you are in Nigeria, you have to return to Nigeria. You must go to either Abuja or Lagos and then complete the processes there before you're allowed back into the country.
All right, now, Ahmed Mamodu, I will give it to you. I mean, you are a Nigerian, so somehow you may talk this way because you may not like this new immigration policy. But let us look at it from another point of view, because we understand that the issue of granting residency, you call it a green card, a true adjustment of status in the United States of America, all this while has been some form of administrative grace. That's the way the USCIS has described it. Now, by law, it is not supposed to be granted in the U.S. I mean, if you come into the U.S. Through a B1, B2 visa, you are not supposed to adjust your status. It has, not that you cannot adjust your status, but it has always been a kind of an administrative grace. That's the way, the technical description that the USCI has given to it all these years. But you discover that over time, a lot of immigrants have taken advantage of this. When we say immigrant now, we're talking about immigrants all across the world, Africans, Caucasian, Asians, and so on and so forth. So rather than try to blame the Trump administration now, don't you think we also need to blame immigrants that have taken undue advantage of this adjustment of status issue in the U.S.?
I do agree. You're right. Technically, it's a loophole that people have exploited, and there's more than enough blame to go around. I'm not trying to lay the blame on one side or the other, to be clear. But the point you are making, and then where it fell under is called a discretionary approval. That's what it was called. It was a discretionary approval. So it was not technically was not breaking the law when you came in and then you decided to do an adjustment of status. It fell under discretionary approval. So that discretionary approval allowed the gray area to be exploited, where people understood that there would be a lot of financial burden on people who had to go back to their countries to do this adjustment of status. Take, for example, a student who was granted, say, a 4-year visa to come and do, let's say, he studied accounting, for example. There's the understanding that in the period of that time, the person had kind of normalized and assimilated into the system and had started the beginnings of their life, either renting a house, paying for cars, paying their taxes, working. Because the assumption is that a lot of those visas, for example, would allow you to start a life. A student visa allows you to work, it allows you to pay some tax, it allows you to be involved in society to some extent. So when you ask such a person who has now spent the last 4 years consecutively in this system to return back home and then do the filing or adjustment of status, you are putting an unnecessary financial burden on that person. That is one example. You also have examples of people who come for family visas. Maybe one member of the family applies on behalf of another member of the family, and then they come and then they kind of start their life. In the period of processing, during that period where they are transiting from one visa to the other, it is understood that they are trying to assimilate, their life is trying to improve, they are doing things, and they are not going against the law of the country. So that is where that discretionary approval comes in. It's not something that is spoken about or something that is written down, but it's an understanding that human beings, being mobile all the time, have to have some kind of room to be able to move from one status to the other. So this is a little bit stringent. It's more of we are being, as we are following the letter of the law without giving any room for human understanding of the law. That is what is going on right now.
Okay. Well, I know that this new development now is a big blow on lots of African immigrants in the United States of America, because a lot of African immigrants, I mean Nigerians, Kenyans, Ugandans and all that, they are going through the adjustment of status, process to regularize their immigration status in the U.S. But you tell me, how are they finding it right now? Because what this new development means now is that if you are going through the adjustment of status, automatically you are an illegal resident in the U.S. You ought not to be in the U.S. now, because the instruction has been given that, hey, you go back home to your home country and go and I think it has to be, they have to now go and start the consular processing in their home country. Yes. So how are they finding it? I mean, this immigrant, how are they finding it?
So it's like you pointed out, it's really tough. It's a difficult situation. It's a difficult financial situation. It's a difficult economic situation. It's even a difficult relationship situation, because as we know, most of those out of stations, the embassies that we're talking about, they already have a backlog based on the ban that has been put on the visa system in the first place. Like, for example, I was speaking to a friend of mine who was supposed to have had an interview. After waiting almost 3 years, he finally had the interview, and then he was told that everything has been suspended. So there's the backlog that the embassies are having to deal with. And then you now have to go back. You see, these people a lot of them have built a life of one form or the other out of the country. So what it means is that they have to go back home and kind of reintegrate themselves. So you have to, first of all, prove to the embassy that all the documents that you have, you've normalized them, your bank statements, your right of abode, and etc., etc. So there's a lot of difficulty and a lot of financial strain that's involved in this. Now, bear in mind that what this policy means is that, like you pointed out very clearly, a lot of people have their old status already lapsed. So look at this situation. Somebody comes in, he's been here, like you said, his status has lapsed. If he goes back home, he now faces the possibility of even a ban because of that lapse in his status. Whereas if he had been allowed to stay here and do his adjustment of status, some of those things would have been overlooked because he's in situ, he's on ground, he's here. So some of those things will be overlooked. But when you go back and then say maybe you came in as a visitor and then you had a 2-year visa, the visa has lapsed, and then you now try and do an adjustment of status because you married, say, a US citizen, for example, there's the possibility that you face a 3 or 10-year ban as a consequence of staying in the country after the lapsing of your proper document, your proper allowance or your visa in the first place. So there's that danger. And then there's the forced consular processing. So like you said, they have to go back, choose an embassy, go through the stress of whatever it is that embassy is going to present to them. And then they now have to start pretty much from scratch because there's a queue. The embassy system is based on a queuing system. You don't just come and then because you left the America and then you go back at the embassy the next day. So we're looking at upwards of 3, 4, 5 years possibly in some instances and worse.
All right. Now, we're going to quickly take a short break so that we get into the discussion proper this afternoon. So don't forget the program is African Discourse, and we're looking at the new immigration policy in the U.S., how it impacts on African migrants in the United States of America. We're talking about the new USCIS adjustment of status policy, and of course, how it impacts on Africans. We'll be right back. Please stay tuned.
Some days, there comes the Ugemobo Festival, which the Oba celebrates outside the palace gate. A pavilion is built of red cloth where rites are performed to drive away all evil spirits still unsatisfied by the year's sacrifices. The Ugemobo Festival is to commemorate an event in Benin history which dates back to 1504 AD.
All right, thank you one more time. The program still on your television. Talking about the program African Discourse. And you know, when issues break, it is our responsibility here to put them on television and dissect the issue. One of the latest that we are looking at this afternoon is the new immigration policy in the United States of America. And of course, the impact is going to be having on Africans. We're talking about the USCIS. Well, the USCIS simply stands for the United States Citizens and Immigration Service, department in the United States of America. So lots of Africans, going to be impacted upon. And no doubt, it appears it's going to be some kind of a negative impact. So we have Ahmed Mamodu, who is joining us virtually all the way from Houston, United States of America. Now, Ahmed, now tell us, a while ago we were trying to look at the reaction of most Africans that are going to be affected by all this. Now, we understand that the African community, I don't want to use a kind of a generalistic expression now, but we understand that the African community in some states in the U.S. are planning for a protest, because we are looking at a situation that those that are going through this adjustment of status, they have applied for their status to be adjusted. I mean, fees have been paid, and of course they'll be going to courts, to immigration courts with their lawyers and all that, and all of a sudden the USCIS or the Donald Trump administration is telling them that they have to go back home, go back to their country, and start the process. So the African community in the US, are they planning to protest against this?
So I'm not sure where this African community is. I don't want to speak about what I'm not clear about, but there are several African communities. For example, in the Houston area, Houston is very attractive to Nigerians in particular because of the weather. It reminds you of, let's say, the weather in Lagos, for example. It's kind of hot and humid, so it's very comfortable. But I would be wary of such a move as to stage a protest, because that exposes them to some kind of legal jeopardy. Unless, of course, the protest is going to be staged on their behalf by people who have some kind of permanent residency or right to live and stay here. Because if you go and protest under the current climate that this administration is running, they are probably likely to be arrested and deported on the spot if they have any kind of question mark on their immigration status. So I'm not sure that that's something that is viable without exposing themselves to the risk of immediate deportation, and very unwise under the circumstances.
Yeah, but what about their fees? Their fees that have been paid. I mean, they've paid for to regularize their status. They paid to the USCIS, and of course, the USCIS, being an agent of government, accepted their application and accepted their money. So all of a sudden, they are told to go home. So what are we saying?
So there are some gray areas that haven't been worked out, because the administration is pretty much pulling this thing out of the hat. They are blowing hot one day and blowing cold another day. The other day, after realizing that they had pretty much deported all the farm workers that were helping to make crops and everything cheap, the administration backtracked and decided that they were going to allow the ones that were migrant workers to stay and continue the labor. So under the circumstance, I'm not sure that they are really interested in either the fees or whoever is affected by this, because we've had situations where even at the beginning of this whole scandal, there was a case of a 6-year-old boy who was separated from his parents because the parents were about to be deported. A lot of these issues are things that not just the human rights community, even the legislative arm of the government has been drawing to the attention of the government, that these things are arbitrary. You cannot just separate people from their families overnight. You cannot ask people to come and pay for something and then you do not give them the service that they are being paid for. But then now there's the legal jeopardy. Do you expose yourself to deportation because you paid fees of $400-500? No. The wise thing would be to kind of ride it out if you are not particularly, if you are not directly involved, or you are not under any kind of jeopardy at the moment. A lot of the immigration status and a lot of things that are going on, people are just trying to ride out this administration. The administration is completely out of control. So what everybody is doing is trying to ride it out and see what happens after the administration lapses and somebody that is a little bit more empathic comes into government. So as far as your fees are concerned, you will choose the best option for you, and I think that will be to leave the money for them at this point in time.
All right, so we'll go for another break, and when we come back, we're going to be asking more questions because it appears that this move is to give room for another. That's just the way I want to say it now. So when we return on the other side of break, we're going to be looking at the other, that this new development seems to be giving some form of room for. We'll be right back. Please stay tuned.
The Ugewe is the final ceremony of the series of festivals. It is one of peace and lightheartedness, following the more solemn of the ritual year. Ugewe is the festival of the Ewe leaves, a symbol of good luck and joy. It is the most popular of all that heralds the dawn of a Benin New Year, new vow, newness of life and freshness of life, and a new hope for the future. In the evening, the Ewe leaves are presented to
All right, thank you one more time. The program is still on your television, African Discourse on Independent Telly. Our guest this afternoon is Ahmed Mamodu, who is joining us virtually this afternoon all the way from Houston, United States of America. And we are looking at the recent immigration developments, immigration policy developments in the U.S., whereby immigrants all over the world, and African immigrants too, because this program, African Discuss, will look at issues as it affects Africans. So African immigrants in the U.S., those that have overstayed their visa, have been asked to go back home to apply for adjustment of status. In other words, you cannot overstay your visa in the U.S., and you also want to take advantage of adjustment of status. Now, adjustment of status, like I said a while ago, has been a kind of a loophole that people come into. For example, you overstay your visa in the U.S., you can take the adjustment of status policy, take advantage of it, and of course, you now be given a residency. So the latest development to that now is that the Trump administration has said that, hey, you need not to be here in the U.S. Go back to your country and apply for adjustment of status benefits. Now, Ahmed Mamodu, now tell us, because before this time we saw a suspension of those that want to come into the U.S. legally. Take, for example, a father that filed for his married son. Of course, the married son is above 21 years and he's married. So the married son wants to come into the U.S. legally. He doesn't want to go into the U.S. with a B1, B2 visa. He wants to go through the consular processing. Take, for example, that son is here in Nigeria with the family, and of course the father is in the U.S. Now, we saw that the Trump administration recently had to put some form of suspension in those kind of application, consular processing application. About 75 countries all over the world, of which Nigeria was part of those countries that were affected. So you tell us now, do you think that the Trump administration is trying to make a way? Because from what people say is that, okay, if the administration now take away those that take advantage of adjustment of status policy in the U.S., then of course it will now hasten the normal consular processing. Those that have been waiting because there has been a backlog of people waiting over the years. So those that have been waiting, that have been in the line through the consular processing, it will now hasten their application. How correct is that?
But I'm not sure how that will happen because, Evans, like we pointed out earlier, on top of this stricter vetting processes, there has been some kind of banning of not just, well, Africans, because of, like we pointed out, countries of particular interest. The US recently listed some countries of particular interest, primarily African countries. They topped the list, and most of them were African countries, and in particular Nigeria. So if you add that on top of this, all they are doing is making it more and more difficult for people of a particular ethnic, race group to access the United States. That's simply what is happening. And the administration has made no bones or made any secret of the fact that they are not interested in black people coming into the country. Let's call it what it is. The president has said it several times clearly that he would prefer people of a fairer skin to come into the country because that's what they want. He's recorded as having said it on TV, and he has systematically, verbally abused African countries. They called them all sorts of names, including some unprintable names that he's known to have said. So this is just a ratcheting of that impulse, that policy that is trying to restrict Africans basically from coming into the US, while allowing other countries of a fairer skin have on equal access. Look at what happened to what he did to the farmers in South Africa. He simply picked up all the white farmers in South Africa that were interested in emigrating to the United States, and then he put them on a plane. I think at some point there were 300 or some ridiculous number, and took them into the US. He jumped all these queues that he's making Africans go back to. In fact, there wasn't even a queue. They just put them on a plane, landed in the US, changed their status for them, and gave them immigrant status. So and they only had to be white. They couldn't be black because they are black South African farmers. None of them made it onto the plane. It was only white South Africans. So there is a policy of excluding a race. It's determined. We are seeing it play out very forcefully and very systematically. So whatever kind of language they use to frame it, that is all it is at the end of the day.
Okay. All right. Now, I don't know if you've seen the last edition of the visa analysis. If I get it correctly now, that's the monthly bulletin that the USCIS releases to update the current immigration situation. In other words, the priority dates that are current. Now, because what analysts are saying is that if some countries are currently being banned, take for example Nigeria, we have a lot of persons that are going through the legal consular processing, but because of their country of origin, somehow, even if their priority date is current now they cannot continue with their consular processing because the U.S. the Trump administration has put a total stop on processing their application. But the Trump administration, like you and I know, probably has just about 2 more years to go. So are we not looking at a situation whereby even after these 2 years, it's going to create a more immigration crisis for upcoming governments? I mean, we're going to have a lot of backlog of applications that have their priority dates current. Are we not looking at that situation, Ahmed Mamadou?
Yes, it's already happening. We don't even have to wait for 2 years. It's already happening as far back as 2025. Using Nigeria as an example so that we are clear with people that we're speaking to. Using Nigeria as an example for the frame of the larger African continent. there has been a pause on those visa processing since last year. And before that period of time, before the last year, they had a backlog of visa processing that even the embassy system will tell you they have a 3-year backlog. So imagine when you add 2 years more to a 3-year backlog for something that has been paused since last year. I think we are talking about 6 or 7 years of backlog. How does this affect people? You have people who have, you see, there are even some educational systems that require you to complete either your studies in America. There's medical tourism that has been affected. There's even just the regular tourism. Then there's family tourism. There's a whole swath of people that this thing cuts across and puts all of their lives on hold. And the unfairness of it is that the system they did not change it over a graded period of time. These are policy shifts that happen practically overnight. Let's not make any mistake about the fact that the adjustment of status in itself is not an illegal process. What has happened is the policy change, the implementation of the policy. So previously you could come out and say you have extraordinary circumstances or you have a critical national interest that you are guarding, which this allows you from returning home to complete this adjustment of status. And it is only supposed to affect people who are legally in the country. Now it doesn't give that distinction. Whether you are legally in the country or you are illegally in the country, you have to go back home to do the adjustment of status. It's as simple as that. So there's so much confusion, there's so much irrationality behind it. But the only thing that comes through is that there is a definite animus against people of a certain color, and this administration is showing it in any way it can, and it's putting its policies to make it as uncomfortable as possible for them.
Now, Ahmed Momodu, tell us what you also make of what seems to also be recent when we talk about immigration policy as it were now. I mean, for some persons, I don't think if it is only in Nigeria alone, but I want to think that most African countries, you want to go to the US today. Now, the US government tells you that, hey, even if you are coming in through the B1, B2 visa, you must pay what they call the visa bond. In some cases, the visa bond is almost as high as 15,000 US dollars. That's approximately about 21 million naira. So you mean with all this development now, you still pay your visa bond? I'm not trying to, say that, because the thing about the visa bond is that if you overstay your visa, then of course you forfeit that visa bond that you pay. And of course the USCIS will still get you. Now, but you tell us, with this new development of paying 15,000 US dollars as visa bond, the Trump administration is still bent on clamping down on those that seek adjustment of status. I don't know what to make of it.
Yes, it's like, we already established that the whole thing is arbitrary. They just wake up one morning and then decide, okay, this is the direction we are going to go without any historical precedent. Look, Evans, the simple historical precedent is that there's the principle of fairness that the American system is based on. If somebody is coming from England and somebody is coming from Nigeria and they are both applying for the same visa, you are supposed to treat them equally. But what has happened, what we have seen is that there is now a distinction between some countries and other countries and the nationals of some countries and other countries. That's not the way it's supposed to be. There's supposed to be diplomatic reciprocity. So the kind of privilege that we give American citizens coming into Nigeria is what Nigerians trying to come into America are supposed to get. You mentioned the visa bond. The visa bond is a monetization because we've seen this increasingly with this administration. Everything is dollar to put it plainly. How much will it cost? How much can we get? That's all they are interested in. If we even look at the people whose visas are not even granted, they don't get their money back. And that's not small money. We're talking about, in some cases, thousands of dollars. And then to imagine that you have a visa bond. Okay, look at this kind of scenario. You pay the visa bond, you are given the visa, you are about to enter the country, and then you are turned back. Is that money going to be given back to you, $15,000, example. Isn't that ridiculous? Why do you want that money? The understanding where people pay is usually in the case that those individuals have to be repatriated to their country. So that forms some kind of monetary value for a return ticket. But when you're charging somebody $15,000, is that for an apartment? Is it for his family to come and? It's ridiculous. You can get some. $15,000 is going to pay rent in most places for at least a year. Why do you need that kind of money? You don't need to collect that kind of money from anybody unless your intention is to make it as difficult as possible for such individuals to come in the first instance. And then if they do, you hold them to ransom financially, and then you seize that money from them, because that is what it is. Most Americans don't have $1,000 in cash in their own account. I want to be generous and say almost 50%, because everything here is a credit system. And then you collect $15,000 from somebody to do what? What do you don't need that kind of money. A return ticket is $1,500. What are you going to do with the balance of $13,500? I mean, some of this is ridiculous. But like you said, and we are saying, the truth of the matter is that everybody is waiting out this administration. It's arbitrary. Even some people here, they are tired of the arbitrariness. The gas prices, everything is out of control. So this is just a waiting game that we are playing at this point.
Okay. Now, I want to also look at the implication, though you tried to hint on it earlier on, but let us expand more on the implication for the American economy. I mean, this adjustment of status, though, is a guidance that the USCIS, has to work with. But what do you think is going to be the implication for the American employers? Because a lot of persons in the U.S. with some form of employment visa, and they are not residents. So does it mean that they have to leave their work? And if they do, is that going to have some form of adverse effect on the U.S. economy?
Brilliant observation, Vance. Now, if you look at the whole spectrum of the U.S. economy, right from the top, because we are such a diverse country that looking at it from the top to the bottom, you will find immigrants in every aspect of the economy. Now, to even be more particular, if you look at the top 1% of the U.S. economy, that's the tech industry is the largest wealth builder and reserve of wealth right now. It's dominated by foreigners, some of whom continue to work as foreigners, but work in the system within the law. Some of them are assimilated, some of them change their status, they did adjustment of status, like we're discussing. But some of them, most of them are from the Asian continent. So if you look at the top 10 countries, you probably see at the top of the list, 3, 4, 5 of them, all from Asian countries. You see, there is a different set of rules when you have money in this society, and a different set of rules when you are poor and when you are black. That's just the reality of the thing. They have people who are picking at the top and they are exempt. Look at Elon Musk, for example. He started out as a South African. He came in here. He did an adjustment of status in here. Now he is the one that is trying to get people out of the country. Some of these things are just, it's so comedic that you only have to laugh at the ridiculousness of it. And then if you go lower down, you go to the mid-level managers, for example. The economy is based on such diverse things as manufacturing, construction, engineering. And then these are built on not just the middle class, middle income earners, but students who come in. They create the flow of workforce that America depends on to keep an advanced country working. No, there's not enough local talent to keep a lot of these industries, because America doesn't just export raw materials. They export talent, they export technology. And the conveyor belt of that technology, the conveyor belt of that middle class are the students that come in and fill in these gaps. I have a few people who came in recently, who came in before all of this problem. And then they are now entering the management workforce on the lower level as junior managers, and they rise through the ranks. So a gap is being created right there. And then at the lower spectrum, like we discussed earlier, you have people who are menial workers who form the majority of the workforce That is the informal sector that cannot even be quantified, because those jobs are not just jobs that citizens or local people or Americans are interested in doing. Nobody's going to go and work in a farm. Nobody's going to go and pick your apples and your oranges and all the rest of that. They will be foreigners who are trying to make their life a little bit better by earning a little bit more income. So when they demonize immigration as a whole, top to bottom, that's what you see. There is that gap that is breaking down. Now, historically, this is something that you might find interesting and the viewers will find interesting. You are not going to get a black American to go and work in a farm because of the history of slavery. Even if you are paying $2,000 a day, a black American is not going to go and work in that farm. And it doesn't matter. Give him a car, he's going to tell you he's not going to work in a farm. Because you brought us from Africa to come and work here. We started working in farm. Now, how many 250 years later want to go back to farm? They will not answer you. So there's that problem. Now the administration has found out that there's a problem there. What are they doing? They are going back to appeal to this same category of people that they spent so many years demonizing. Because we had about 3 or 4 months ago, we had large swaths of farmlands that were supposed to be harvested. The crops were rotting in the field because there was nobody to do the job. It's a ridiculous situation. So like I said earlier on, we are simply waiting out some of this arbitrariness until we get back somebody that puts a little bit of thought into the process and into the policy.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to be asking my last question now. 2 questions in one. It's going to be the last question because of time factor. Now, you know, before now, we saw some USCIS officials and even the ICE officials in the U.S. raiding immigrants from spots, you know, in different states. So with this new USCIS immigration of status policy, are we going to have more raids? That is one question. And you know one thing about the U.S., if the U.S. does something, it's a ripples. I mean, it has a ripple effect into other countries. Now, I won't be surprised if Canada takes a cue, and of course, the United Kingdom also take a cue from this new development. Amen, Mamadou.
So hopefully we will see the more moderate countries like Canada and the US and then the UK, like you said, having a more moderate approach to it, because they are a country of laws that are a little bit more stringent in the enforcement of their laws. Yes, there has been a wave of nationalism that I even blame some of the problems that have been happening in South Africa to the rhetoric of this administration, because America, whether you like it or not, is the policeman of the world. If they start using language that is inflammatory and anti-immigration, other countries will build on it and other nationalities will take it. And then who is going to hold other countries to account when the main policeman of the world is the one that is driving that 90? So this is some of the danger that we are seeing. And then if you allow immigration to get out of hand, I mean, anti-immigration sentiments to get out of hand, innocent people are going to be affected one way or the other. I'm sorry, I forgot the first part of your question, but I think I addressed the second part.
Yeah, more raids, more raids. Are we going to have more raids? More
so let us use the example. Let us use the example of an actual raid that happened in, I think it was in Ohio. So people came from the Asian continent, from Korea to be specific. They came to build specific batteries that allow the solar system to work. Those are batteries, rechargeable batteries, as you know. Everybody is going into this. This is a specialized group of people. I think there were about 200 of them who were invited by the United States government to come and build this plant and do a transfer of technology. What happened? Without consulting the larger body, the USCIS, the Homeland Security, went and raided that factory, arrested 200 people that were here legally, that were supposed to be transferring technology, and then arrested them and put them under detention. When the whole dust had cleared, they found out that these people were here legally. The government invited them, and then they asked them to go back. They said, no, they are not going back. They want to go back home. They are not interested in that transfer. So there are things like this that are happening. We are even talking about they raided people who should have been here. So I don't even need to answer your question about if you are here illegally, what they are going to do to you. I gave you an example of people who were invited by the United States government to come and build a multi-billion-dollar rechargeable battery plant, and that's what happened to them.
All right, so Ahmed Momodu, because of time factor, we want to say a very big thank you. I mean, finding time to join us on the program today, and of course, throwing lights on some of the issues. We want to say a very big thank you, Ahmed Momodu, and we do hope when we call on you again, you will oblige us the time.
I do enjoy our discussions. Thank you, Evans.
Okay. All right. So we'll be speaking with Ahmed Momodu all the way from Houston, United States of America. And we'll be looking at the new immigration policy in the U.S., whereby the USCIS has given a directive that illegal immigrants, what I mean by illegal immigrants now, are visitors that overstay their visa in America. In other words, visitors, aliens in America that are not residents, they don't have any form of residency, they have not naturalized, that they no longer can take advantage of the adjustment of status. Now, adjustment of status before this time has been a loophole whereby even if you overstay your time in the U.S., you could apply to normalize your immigration status in the U.S. So right now, what the USCIS is saying is that, hey, you need to go back to your country and begin it with the consular processing. So there's no doubt that's going to have so much disadvantage and, of course, so much reaction. So we just hope and pray that this whole development is going to be well managed so that it does not snowball into another form of big problem for the U.S. and immigrants, particularly the African immigrants in the U.S. All right, so this is how we end the show today, African Discourse on Independent Television. Until same time next week when we come with another topic and, of course, another guest. My name is Evan Sunukugi. Good afternoon.
This is ITV.
Certainly the best.
Thank you very much for joining us on the program, Healthy Living. What is the kidney?
The kidney is an excretory organ in the body, which is for metabolism.
Tuberculosis affects many organs in the body, but the common ones it usually affects is the lungs.
Epilepsy is a neurological problem.
Okay.
It is an injury in the brain, which causes someone to begin to convulse, to go into fits.
It is curable, but the cure is a long-term thing.
If you eat well and avoid those risk factors that will make your immunity
to be down, then the risk of contacting tuberculosis will be reduced.
If you're healthy, then you're wealthy.
The man went out to bring in thugs to come and beat her.
Yeah.
In a situation like that, do you think women would have seen that and still want to speak?
Really, we're talking about. That's what I said. So when they bullied her,
Yeah.
if she's not bold enough, she will shut up.
What is your advice for girls out there that are so desperate to be married?
We women, we have to be really intentional about our parenting.
If you know a child is being abused, or you see signs, a bruise or a child, it has to be investigated.
People barely even breathe when they are going for a shrebi and something. You have to be
They can't
smart.
sit
If
down.
you see where they are dressing them up or dragging on both sides, you cannot breathe. And these women will stay in those events for hours just to keep up with that beauty trend.
Is that healthy?
That's not healthy.
I am Patricia Uremu Gabriels and we're reaching you live from our Lagos Network studio. Of course, Women in Conversation is a program designed for women to discuss about themselves.
A pleasure to have you join us today on the program Healthy Living. I'm Adesu Walsawagie, and today on Healthy Living we shall be looking at something that concerns you, that concerns me, that concerns everybody, depending on how careless or how careful you are. We're going to be looking at sexually transmitted infections or diseases, as the case may be. And we have Dr. Jolly Nosa Iguma, the CMD of Jonos Medical Center, Benin City, here in the studio to walk us through what sexually transmitted infections or diseases are, what to do when they come, how to know that you have it, and all of that. So, Doctor, good afternoon, and thank you for joining us today. You don't tell, Doctor, you told your sister before. All right, thank you so much, Dr. Jolly. So, talk to us. Sexually transmitted infections, sexually transmitted diseases, are they one and the same?
Yes.
Okay, so walk us through. What is it?
Sexual transmitted infection is the right thing. But the infection will eventually cause a disease.
Cause a disease, okay.
So by definition, we say that sexual transmitted infection, or the STI, are a group of contagious conditions whose principal mode of transmission involve intimate sexual contact with the most mucous membrane of the penis, the vagina, the cervix, the anus, the rectum, the pharynx, the mouth, and other adjoining skin area. What it means is that sexual transmitted infection are microbial infection that can be contracted through intimate sexual contact. It can affect man, it can affect woman. It's contagious, that is to say that. It can be transferred from the male to the female, from the female to the male. And it's common amongst the commercial sex workers. Not only that, even the distance lorry drivers, those who are mobile, like the mobile policemen, sexual infection are common among this group of persons. But however, according to Center for Disease Control, the World Health Organization, that made us understand the fact that sexual transmitted infection is very common. They have estimated that 374 million cases are reported yearly.
374 million cases.
That's huge. Yeah, that's a large number, which includes 170 million cases of Trichomonas vaginalis.
And what is that?
Yes, that is a type of parasitic infection. Yes.
You need to break it down,
yes,
because there are so many young ones who are watching this program right away. So many young boys who are watching this program now, and they are very much into girls, so to speak. So they need to know what all of that is, so that when they come down with it, they will
we will break it down during the course of this program.
Okay.
Then of this very large 274 million cases that is reported yearly, 170 million cases is caused by Trichomonas vaginalis, as I said earlier on. 92 million cases is caused by chlamydia infection.
Okay.
The 62 million cases is gonorrhea, while about 12 million cases is syphilis. Sexual transmitted infection, of course, is a microbial organism that is responsible for it, that can be transferred through, intimate sexual activity.
Okay.
It does not only affect the genital area, even the other adjacent area of the body, like the skin, maybe even the mouth, especially those who are involved in oral sex or cunnilingus and fallatius. Those persons can also come down with oral, manifestation of the disease symptoms.
Okay, so what are the signs and symptoms?
Yes, depending on the particular organism that is responsible for this sexual transmitted infection, quite a number of organisms, causing STI, we have been able to elicit them. For example, we have what we call the human papilloma virus.
Okay.
We have the chlamydia. We have the episyphilis type 2. We have the hepatitis B virus. We have the HIV. We have the gonorrhea. We have the syphilis. You see, even the pubic lice. So the particular disease, the one I've just named, the manifestation, the particular disease will manifest, the symptoms.
No, doctor, let me take you back a bit. You talked about pubic lice. How does that happen? Lice in the pubic?
Yes. When I define...
I used to lice in the head and,
exactly.
And on the body.
When I defined the sexual infection, I said it might not even involve the genital organ, concerned. The manifestation of the symptoms might not even the genital organ, but adjacent, area. You see, during sexual intercourse, the male and female pubis tend to, come together.
To rub, yes.
So when a particular partner, maybe the male or the female, abhors the lice, their pubic area, it can be transmitted.
I'm just wondering how lice.
Yes. Yes.
This is funny.
Exactly.
I'm just trying to wonder how lice found its way to that place.
Some persons, that live in a dirty environment, it's very common. They can have pubic lice, as the case may be. So, for example, looking at the manifestation of the symptoms, the commonest symptoms of manifestation include the genital itching. Okay. So, person itch their genital area. And the genital area might be as a result of the lice we have spoken about. It might be as a result of candidiasis. But however, candidiasis, though common in female, but might not be sexually transmitted. It might just be as a result of, concomitant use of, broad spectrum antibiotics, or it might be for the fact that they have immunocompromised state, or maybe they do watching, they watch their, what we call, they watch excessively that is capable of, destroying the lactobacilli, which help to, control the normal vaginal flora.
Now you're going to throw me off again. Which one is lactobacilli?
Yes, what I'm saying is that the pH of the vagina should be kept constant at any point in time.
Okay.
So if for any reason the pH of the vagina increases or decreases, female might begin to have genital itching and genital discharge.
Okay.
Candidiasis in particular that affects women may not be transmitted to men, but it may result to genital itching. But however, the pubic lice is a common, condition that might cause the itching, as the case may be. Not only that, some persons might even come down with purulent discharge, painful urination, called dysuria. And a very common example of STI or sexually transmitted disease that can manifest this symptom include the gonorrhea and the chlamydia. Of all the sexually transmitted infections, the one that has the shortest incubation period is the gonorrhea. What I'm saying is that from the period of exposure to the period of the manifestation of the disease, about 2 days to 1 week, as the case may be.
But I heard that it does not present in women.
Yes, 80% of women are asymptomatic, but eventually they become, they begin to spread the infection, just because of the fact that, the genital area of the women, because of the fact that it's moist, they might not even be able to, manifest this purulent discharge, which they might even see as a normal discharge, as the case may be, until the complication will start coming up. And by the time we look at the complication of even the gonorrhea, you will see that, in fact, most causes of infertility might be ascribed to the gonorrhea, which probably a woman contracted during her teenage or during her sexually active age of life, and now resulting to the complication, which might result to tuberous fibrosis, pelvic inflammatory disease, and the like.
Doctor, let's take a very short break. When we come back, we'll come and talk about the complications and prevention and, of course, treatment of STI. Thank you so much for joining us again on the program Healthy Living, and I am with Dr. Jolly Nosai Goma, and we are looking at STI. All right, doctor, at this point, let's look at the complications of STI, because this is one illness or one disease or one problem that people feel very ashamed of. You know, instead of going to the hospital, they would rather go to chemist and say, or that, I better mix some for me. Like say they feel one, and they will not really go to the point. They will go to many stories before they really hit the nail on the head. So talk to us. Untreated STI, what can it lead to, and what are the complications?
Yes,
Dr. Jolly?
if at any point in time as a man or as a woman or as a boy, as a girl, you are sexually active and you now find out that you are now having itching or you are having purulent discharge or painful urination, or you now have a form of an ulcer, which is like a sore. The sore might just be a single one in your genital area, either close to your pubic area or maybe close to the penile area in the male. Or not only that, you are just having a kind of a lump, a form of a swelling, around your genital area, which could be a form of a wart, as the case may be. You don't need to ignore it. You need to see your healthcare provider for quick intervention, because the sexually transmitted infection could be virus, it could be bacteria. So you don't have to do... Which
is more dangerous?
Yes, it's the virus that is more dangerous. I will tell you that quite a number of STI are not curable. And if you ask me which of them, HIV is not curable. That is the truth. Even mollusco contagiosum is not curable.
People don't believe that there is still HIV.
Yes, and I will tell you that the most fatal complication of those STI is the HIV, which we know can lead to mortality or death, as the case may be. So, for complication, we can have disease condition which has transmitted through STI, like the chlamydia we spoke about, like the gonorrhea. You might look at chlamydia or gonorrhea as very common, but I will tell you that gonorrhea may result to fibrosis in the fallopian tube, because once the gonorrhea is contracted and is not well treated, after some time it will cause complication of pelvic inflammatory disease in female. What it does is that the discharge or the purulent discharge, it tends to move inward, outward to inward, and by so is capable of causing chronic pelvic pain. Is capable of causing dyspareunia or painful intercourse. It's capable of causing, contact bleeding. The woman might just start bleeding during sexual intercourse, which may just come up, after contracting the STI and is not well treated. Not only that, because of the pelvic inflammatory disease, the fallopian tube will become fibrous, and the fallopian tube is one area in the female genital tract that we cannot even use a surgery to correct it. And when the fallopian tube is fibrous, even if the person gets pregnant, the pregnancy will not move to the uterus. In that case, the person might have what we call the ectopic pregnancy. And the ectopic pregnancy, of course, the baby will not be viable, will not survive beyond 12 weeks, as the case may be. And this might even be the cause of the maternal death, because of the ectopic pregnancy, if a quick intervention is not taken. Not only that, in May, we can have what we call epididymocarditis. You have contracted STI and you don't go to your healthcare provider for a quick diagnosis and you are not doing self-medication or you left it untreated. But I will tell you that it might result to destruction of your male sperm. The sperm is responsible for sperm production. Yes. So as common as gonorrhea, as common as chlamydia, even syphilis can destroy your male sexual organ, which will result to
before you go on, there's one thing you hear people talk about, particularly this people who hawk medicine about in small vehicles and all of that. You hear gonococcus. Is that another? I don't understand that one. Is that one to STD?
Yes, the causative organism is Neisseria gonorrhea. When they say gonococcal infection, of course, gonococcal, we are talking about the gonorrhea in any way. But I will tell you in particular that the very common one that you hear they're talking about, the staphylococcus.
There's another one.
Staphylococcus is not even an STI. Staphylococcus is just normal skin infection in form of a boil. So as the commonest thing that the staphylococcus will cause is just boil. But it's just that most genital area can also be affected by boil. So when we are talking about the serious infection, we are not even talking about the staphylococcus. But however, when you go outside the medical parlance, you hear people talking about staphylococcus. Staphylococcus is just normal skin. It's not an STI, just a normal skin.
I hope people are
not only that,
it may
understand other than the epididymocarditis, it can also result to urethritis. So when the gonorrhea will cause what we call the acute urethritis. And if this urethritis is not treated on time, it might result to urethral stricture, with which the man will be unable to urinate one day we just develop what we call the acute urinary retention.
He will not be able to urinate.
Yes, because the urethra has been affected. Yes, because what the gonorrhea does is to cause damage to the urethra. That's channel where the urine will go to. Exactly. Not only that, we have also found out that some women who contracted syphilis, by the time they not get pregnant, the syphilis can cause premature delivery. That is an abortion. Even if the baby is given birth to, for a woman that contracted syphilis and is not well treated. That is why even in antenatal, when we are for every antenatal patient, we must screen them for syphilis so that they will be treated before they will give birth. If not taken care of, a woman with syphilis give birth to a baby that suffers syphilis, because syphilis can be vertically transmitted. What it means is that the woman can transmit the infection to the baby, and the baby will look very sick with rashes all over the body. Not only that, even a woman can even transfer gonorrhea to the baby, what we call ophthalmic gonococcal neonatorium.
So how would the baby look like?
Well, the baby will have a sore, a sore, for the fact that the baby goes through the birth canal, and during that early neonatal stage of the mother nursing the baby, because even the gonorrhea can also be carried, can also stay under the nails. Exactly. That might be the reason why the mother will infect the baby with the gonorrhea, and which the baby will start having mucus discharge from the eye, swollen eye, sometimes that even result to a cornea laceration or cornea injury, as the case may be. In fact, it's a very debilitating condition. Not only that, we have also seen the condition whereby people that suffer syphilis, because syphilis has a very long incubation period of 4 weeks to 6 weeks, as the case may be.
Okay.
Like for the period of
longer than gonorrhea.
Longer than gonorrhea, as the case may be. At that early stage of syphilis, we might have what we call the primary syphilis. At that time, what you just experience in your genital area is just a small, painless, solitary sore. You just wake up and you start seeing the sore in your genital area. It might not be painless, yes, it's not painful like that. Okay. However, the one that's differential diagnosis, other STI that might also result to sore includes the episyphilis type 2, but that one is painful. That one is usually more than one. It's just multiple sore. It's painful.
That's around the genital area.
Exactly. Quite a number of STI, like the lymphoganglioma venereum, like the ganglioma inguinale, like the chancroid. All those are will result to painful ulcers. But in particular for the syphilis ulcer, that primary syphilis, the chancre, if not treated at that time, after some time it goes away. Okay. It might become secondary syphilis. It might even result to tertiary or quaternary syphilis.
Okay, but let's quickly look at treatment now.
Yes.
Because time is not our friend anymore.
We cannot actually talk about the prevention of an STI without looking at the treatment. So the prevention is the goal. The best way you can prevent and treat the STI is to ensure that you are just careful. Abstain from indiscriminate sexual intercourse. And if you cannot, if you cannot do abstinence, use contraceptive. And the very contraceptive you can use to prevent STI is the barrier method. For a male, you can use the condom. For a female, you can use the femidom. But we've
also been told that the condom is not like 100%.
Yes, exactly. It has its own disadvantage. But imagine because you feel that you cannot get that 100% satisfaction of using a cover to cover up your genital area, as against now contracting an HIV that is not curable, which will eventually lead to death. So in that case, we have to practice the use of contraceptive method, which is the use of barrier method. And if you cannot do barrier method, of course, you have to look for a faithful partner. You look for a faithful partner. Not only that, you can also...
If you find a faithful partner and you yourself are not faithful, is that not like frying pan to fire?
Yes. That's usually, when we are talking about the progression of an STI, it's usually carried from one person to another. Females that are asymptomatic, 80% of women that are carrier of gonorrhea and chlamydia, 80% will not manifest any symptom. And most of them will begin to, especially when they have multiple sexual partners, they begin to carry, transfer it, like that.
It to people.
Exactly. And you can see quite a number of complications that this STI will result to. When you see somebody having infertility, they will say your fallopian tube has blocked. They will say you have not producing sperm. because this person will have contracted STI
And
like the
not
gonorrhea or
treated
chlamydia in the past,
properly.
because it was not treated, that now resulted to this kind of complication.
Okay, Doc, as we round up now, what's our way forward?
Yes. The most important thing is for one to be enlightened, just like this program that ITV has brought to the people to understand and to get educated about the sexually transmitted infection. And once you see any symptom of manifestation, whether it's a genital rashes, genital ulcer, or a form of a sore, or a form of a urethral discharge, or you now see a lump in your genital area, you don't have to overlook it. There's a need for you to see your doctor for proper diagnosis and treatment, other than doing a self-medication, which may result to complication.
Okay. A word they say is enough for the wise. Abstain. If you cannot hold body, use barrier. And when you notice all of this that Dr. Jolly have mentioned, run to the hospital, not the nearest chemist behind you or the nearest pharmacy near you. Go to a hospital where you will be duly and properly checked. If not, the complications, you already heard about all of it on the program. The complications are no joke. We'll see you again next week on the program Healthy Living. Thank you so much, Dr. Jolly, for finding time to be with us.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye for now.
This is ITV.
Certainly the best.
This is ITV.
Certainly the best.